Hey, good morning. All right, let's get into this verse. Great verse, very short, but some beautiful details in spiritual knowledge here for sure. So, first, I'll read it the way most of us will see it in our Bibles, then take every word back to its origin using the lexicon Strong's, being led by His Holy Spirit. And the only way you can discern spiritual things is if you're born again in the Spirit, period. Only if God Himself teaches you through the gift of His Holy Spirit. Straight up. And the unfortunate thing is, men have been taught things by the translators, by men in the past, by men in the past for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they refuse to let go of it. That's why in one of the verses, actually a couple verses that I've seen, that I was shown, it was revealed to me by the Holy Spirit. You're only going to be given the gift of spiritual knowledge by the degree in which you humble yourself before the Lord and come before the Lord and are willing to accept the teaching of the Holy Spirit on certain matters. Only by the degree of agreement you come into with Him. Because if you're holding on things you've been taught by men, even though it's been taught for hundreds of years, He's not going to, you're not going to let go of it. You're not going to be shown spiritual truth. Certain elements of spiritual knowledge and truth can't be revealed to you because you're holding on what you've been taught by men. So understand that. No doubt about it. I hope I got that across right. Here we go. This is 1 Timothy 4, verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. There we go. Short verse. 1 Timothy 4:13. Now we're going to take every word back using the lexicons, the Strongs, led by His Holy Spirit. You can believe that or not. I know. There's a difference between believing and knowing. I know. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, here we go. And I'm no better than anybody else. I'm not trying to say that. It's just, I'm a lot like a child. That's for sure. Ask anybody that knows me. So anyways, here we go. 1 Timothy 4:13. Until I come to find place in one to find influence and to be established and become known. And the others are supplied by the word of my kindred. Understand that. So we're born again in the Spirit. We're planting seeds. We're spreading the word. He's speaking through us to others. Okay? And He wants them to grow in the light, to turn their mind, to take heed. That's to pay close attention to be watchful in place and time with respect to what you are attached to, which is the destination of the relationship that you are in, for which it is predicated. It is for the foundation that the relationship of thy house, your abode, your tent, your tabernacle, your vessel, your mansion, metaphorically a body. Okay, what this is predicated on, and predicated means based on, to be made known beforehand, right? Okay, so this is pertaining to the end, your end, or the end of this entire system, this physical world, or your physical being itself, right? Pertaining to the end. And to have external things. Okay, to have external things such as property, riches, furniture, utensils, goods, food, etc. Right? It's all the things of this world that cater to your flesh, that keep you distracted, and you're so attached to them you cannot perceive spiritual understanding or knowledge. It's the way it is. Or to be closely joined to a person or a thing to recover. To a person to recover. That's Christ through the gift of His Holy Spirit. To recover and return your mind to perceive and understand in a narrower sense the capacity for spiritual truth. The straight and narrow way, spiritual truth. Like many people can understand physical things, and when you start seeing how things work in the physical and all that, you're like, oh man, I'm so smart, I figured this out, or scientists and whatever, oh, here's the way this works or that work in this physical realm. It's meaningless. It's foolishness. If you can't perceive the spiritual, you're lost. You're lost. Which stinks, really. Okay, so, and the narrower, I've seen this several times now, in the more narrow sense, the capacity for spiritual truth. The higher powers of the soul perceiving divine things recognizing goodness and hating evil, judging soberly, calmly, and impartially, to learn and know the idiom, here we go again, of sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. It's the bait, it's the trap, it's the snare of the devil, is your flesh, it's your body, is this physical world. It's an embodiment. To know absolutely things that are not clearly expressed by the spiritual knowledge of the gift of the Holy Spirit, to reveal these things to you, spiritual truth. To be resolved, so for this to be resolved by the breath of life, by God himself through his Holy Spirit, which is the heart that animates a living soul, by the use, the aids, the gifts of the Holy Spirit, right? The aids, offered it by God to attain its highest end and secure eternal blessedness as a moral being designed for everlasting life. The soul, which differs in essence from the body, that is not dissolved by death, of a waning love that is waxing cold, by an inanimate breeze, the lies, the deceptions of this physical world we're trapped in, by the act of reading, abiding in my word daily, right? To distinguish accurately between the two, the spiritual and the physical. To know again, to be reconciled, right? To know again, to be reconciled to a relationship to God by his Holy Spirit. Each and every man, by repetition, intensity, and a reversal, repenting, turning back to God, turning away from this physical world and listening to God, hearing God. He heals your deafness, your blindness. That's what he came to do, heal the deaf, dumb, blind, right? The sick. That's all of us. But we're diseased by sin when we're birthed into a physical form, this flesh. And look, I mean, it's obvious. Look what Christ did when he was here. He healed the deaf, healed the blind, healed the sick. Okay, it was a physical manifestation of the spiritual. It's everywhere. It permeates everything. It surrounds you. That's why most people can't see it, because it's everywhere. Only when you're born again in the Spirit can you see spiritual truth. Okay? Turning back to God by repetition, right? Repenting. Who is your creator and father. To become known by calling him near. You call him near for help by supplication, the action of asking or begging for something earnestly and humbly. That's supplication. To be comforted and refreshed of the Messiah. That's Jesus Christ. Stirring address of instruction and admonition, which is a gentle and friendly reproof that is kept simple. To counsel and warn against fault of oversight, of a powerful discourse, to be strengthened and receive encouragement by his teaching as from a friend, to receive his name incited by his word concerning the things of God, spiritual truth, and the duties of man by the preeminence, the fact of surpassing all others by his superiority of Jesus Christ himself. So there's that verse. There's that verse. 1 Timothy 4:13. Led by his Holy Spirit, going through the lexicons, the Strongs. It's the way he explained it to me. That's the way he showed it to me. He laid it right out. And look, I'm not smart enough to see this. There's no way. There's no way I'm coming up with this. You know, he's abiding his word daily. I refuse to let go. Like Jacob, I refuse to let go of the angel of the Lord until he blesses me. You know, he gives me these little spiritual truths which are treasures from heaven, gifts from God of his Holy Spirit. It's a beautiful thing, and if he'll reveal himself to me, he'll do it for you as well. Just ask earnestly. You have to. If you don't bother studying his word, then you don't want to know him. Period. If you're content just sitting in a pew, being fed, getting your emotions jerked at, being taught mostly the traditions and things of men, then you're lost. You have to want to know. You have to take a personal responsibility to get to know him. It's an individual thing. It's an individual thing. When the rapture occurs, most churches will still be full. Truth. Unfortunately. You don't understand what your body is. You don't understand this world. You don't understand. The entire world is the strong delusion. This alien deception thing that's going on that says, oh, we're your makers. They're the makers of this flesh, this physical being. Now, God created everything. So don't get me wrong here. Created everything, but he allowed a certain group to break off and rule, and Satan rules over them in this world. Satan has been given dominion. He took Jesus to a high place and said, I'll give you all these kingdoms of the world, if you bow down and worship me. And he said, it is written, you worship God and him alone, right? Paraphrasing there. But he didn't tell Satan they're not yours to give, because they definitely are. He was given dominion over this world for a time, and his time is running out right now. And all the scriptures are being revealed through all those who are born again, who are true Christians. And look, we all have different gifts. So just because you hear something that you've never heard before, you're supposed to be a good Berean and look into it for yourself. Don't just vehemently deny it like most Christians do, because they weren't taught it by men. Look into it for yourself. So there's that. There's that. All right. Do you want to know him or not? If you do, then you'll study his word daily. And in doing so, you will know the truth. And the truth will set you free from the prison we were trapped in. The snare of the devil is this flesh, this body. Understand that. Spiritual played out in the physical. Understanding the physical, good for you. Yeah, it's a little accomplishment when you can understand things. But that's not what we're meant to understand. We're a spiritual being trapped in a physical form. You need to understand the spiritual. And the only way you can do that is by being born again of the Spirit. And there's a difference between knowing and believing. It's a big difference. Big difference. All right, so there it is. God bless. Love and respect everybody. Have a great day, beautiful day. I got some more work to do on my vehicle. All right. God bless. Have a good one. Bye.